and it all goes pig tong.
There we are. Good.
And we are live.
Yeah,
I stole this chair, mate, from the bins.
Yeah, you did say. It's by
Mate.
the bin. It's fair game.
It's fair game, mate. You can't let things just go awry. You know, it can't just be thrown out if it's perfectly good.
Yeah, well.
How you been anyway? It's been ages since you've been on my on the show, mate.
Yeah,
Been
no,
hiding.
well, not hiding, busy. I've been doing all sorts. I'm obviously back at work as well.
Everybody in Hereford just wants the Beefy Boys, mate. It's fact.
Yeah, it seems that way.
All day, every day.
Yeah, it's slowed down at lunchtime a little bit now, but for the first sort of 3 weeks, it was pretty intense.
Yeah, it's like they've never had a burger before or something. It's like,
yeah, what I can't understand. I mean, it's great. It's great for business, but what I can't understand is like with everything in general, it's like you've just been like, I get it's nice to have things that you've had to abstain from having for a little while, but what I don't get is that we're still in a pandemic, and you know, as soon as the rules were relaxed a little bit, everyone's gone mental. It's like
literally mental.
It was queues for McDonald's for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I can't lie. We had a McDonald's.
Yeah, but I don't get it.
It was like 45 minutes, but it wasn't so much for me and Kate. It was to treat the girls a little bit because they'd been good, and we were going off to have a little trip to the beach. Yeah. Not like fucking, not like every other dickhead.
You're the problem.
Yeah, I'm part of the problem. No, we went during the evening, so we thought it'd be nice to see the sunset and what have you.
Yeah.
It was still dickheads. Here's a question. What is it with this fucking helium stuff or the balloon?
Laughing gas.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Oh, that's been going around for ages.
Yeah, but why is that a thing?
People do all sorts, don't they?
Clear up your shit, though.
Yeah.
Just put it in the bin. Weirdos.
Yeah. Yeah, but back to like people, like, for me, if I ever have McDonald's, which is very, very rare, it would be like if I'm going somewhere and have to stop at a service station.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get excited about. Oh, let's go and have
nuggets.
Let's have a cancer burger. You're gonna get cancer.
Oh.
Eat too many of them.
All the cancer, mate.
Yeah.
Supersize me. Good documentary.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's all right. You know, he did 2.
Yeah.
He did one where he made like KFC. Did the KFC chicken thing. Started his own restaurant.
What? Why don't people do actual documentaries on things that help?
What do you mean?
Well, they do these documentaries because it's like, oh, let's watch what happens when you eat a month or a year or however long it is worth of junk food. Why don't you do it the other way? I get
like a
they
proper
did.
They did a
where
they did what? They did the vegan one, didn't they? Your face was brilliant then. I'll stop you there.
Okay, why don't they do
I know I see
a high production documentary on somebody that is getting themselves in some good shape with no agenda, so none of your CrossFit, none of your veganism, just healthy, sort yourself out, do it over a year rather than like a Biggest Loser style TV show, and just the health effects etc., get the blood work done and all that stuff. Why does it always have to be? Well, I guess it's agenda based because they're the ones with the money, but and like it's not sensationalized, is it? It's just like, oh, Pete did well and got himself in good nick. I suppose it's not, but I don't know. I think that would be quite a good watch. But go with like decent trainers. Do I don't know, like just completely just a slob, and get them doing some weightlifting, get them doing some just regular gym work, some sort of martial art, some yoga.
Yoga. Have you ever tried yoga?
Yes, it's hard. It's harder than, I mean, and it's embarrassing when you go in there and you train all the time, and then you get some 65-year-old nan that's
with a
better
fucking
than,
leg.
and she can
Better.
she can do a handstand for days.
Mate,
Heads.
I didn't want to go and do a proper class, so I did the YouTube version.
Oh yeah.
I was dying for that hour, and the girls had just sat there laughing at me.
And it hurts afterwards for a long time. You get
Fucking
DOMS.
hurt, especially when you're built like me and you can't stretch.
Yeah.
Feel like your hamstrings are gonna snap off. Cheers.
Yeah.
I've just seen, actually, talking about documentaries, I saw a trailer for it. It's called Athlete A. It's about the USA gymnastics doctor that was grooming and touching all the athletes.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be another dark pedo one. They love a pedo doc on Netflix, don't they?
Yeah, and serial killers.
Love a pedo doc. They've got Epstein, R. Kelly, this Athlete A one.
Yeah.
The Louis Theroux with Jimmy Savile.
Yeah.
Why is there so many pedos?
I don't know.
A full conspiracy theory here. The big pedo sex ring.
Pizzagate.
Yeah. Good full Eddie Bravo on your ass.
Yeah. I am. Speaking of that, I mean, we'll talk about the elephant in the room as well. Like our boy Delia's been accused, isn't he?
He has been accused,
online grooming. Last night when I got home from work, I sat out here and listened to the 2-minute episode that his brother Matt put out, and he seemed quite upset. Brendan Sharp couldn't even speak on The Fighter and the Kid the other day about it. He actually broke down. Callan said that, he's not saying left or right on it, but he said that as far as, and he hasn't been on the road with Chris for like 14 years or something, but he never missed anything like that. I mean, I've seen the messages, and the biggest problem I have with them is there's screenshots which can be A, doctored, and B, the girl that's posted them out. I mean, if like, don't get me wrong, if it turns out that it was the case and that's what he was doing, and he knew that she was 15 years old or whatever, and he then throw the book at him. But I don't know, like, something feels a bit off.
Yeah, it does. It's very skeptical hippo going on.
So his his statement back, like, obviously he was quiet for a while. He's obviously spoke to his legal team, probably his friends, family. He's just had a kid as well. But his statement back to me there was something off about it. I'll read it in a second, but some of the issues I found in the messages that were getting posted were like, I want to remain anonymous, blah, blah, blah. But this happened. But there was lots of lots of women that were of age claiming that he was just being creepy and whatnot, and asked them back to his hotel room and or backstage.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but in that case, yeah, he's been a bit of a creep. But I, if you're old enough and he's just asking you to send him pictures or go back to his hotel room, that's up to you whether you agree to send them or go to his hotel room or not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't have to.
It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, he might be a bit of a, but like how many guys on a night out try about 3 different girls before they get successful in,
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah, you,
like
you,
throw
you,
in,
if anything, you go down the level, don't you? You try at the 10. Usually that doesn't happen. You go down, you end up taking home a 2. But
I mean, yeah, there's that. But I mean, I think that in cases like this, unless he's, I mean, the 15-year-old girl aside, like all those women throwing their 2 pence worth in, saying he did this, he did that. It's like that's just a guy after a show. You can't throw that in the mix just to make him look bad.
yeah,
But like the girls,
there was one where he's literally just having a photo taken.
yeah,
It looks like he's having a photo with a fan, and she's like, "Well, he tried it with me. Here's the
yeah,
proof." That's not proof. That's a
the
fan photo.
And like again, I'm not defending Chris or accusing Chris because, like from what I've seen, I mean that the girl that claims that Chris knew she wasn't of age, her explanation for it was because all over my Instagram was at high school games.
High school
And
cheers. Yeah.
and I don't know. Does that mean that he knew her age? I mean, it's like if it goes to court, it's going to be, and that's the only evidence. It's going to be
Yeah.
very, very, very hard to prove anything. I mean,
Exactly.
what does she want out of it? Does she want him cancelled?
Cancel culture.
Prosecuted? Because
But
like,
also, it's also if he's gone on to Instagram and checked her out, would he have sent an email or would he have just slid
that's what I
into
mean.
the DMs?
Where did he get her email from?
Yeah, was he just typing it in? titsmcgee@gmail.com.
And I find that real sketchy as well.
It's a tricky one.
Even was it 2013, 2014? People weren't communicating via email.
No.
So why?
No.
Why?
It's like they've tried to say it's early fucking 2000s and you're on MSN or something.
Yeah.
But you'd send a text, wouldn't you?
Of course,
Send an email.
or a direct message. And the other one that really confused me was the girl claiming. I mean, I've since thought about it, so I have a slightly different take on it. But she's screenshotted messages that she claims are from 2014, I think.
Yeah.
There's no blue check mark on the messages. Which I'm pretty sure they do come up with when you're
Yeah.
and the profile picture in them is when Chris had his hand tattoo, which is in 2018, I believe. So, like, I had thoughts on that maybe she's gone back and it's still the profile picture's changed.
Yeah.
But then again, there's no check mark, and they were saying that they wouldn't have had check marks back in whenever. And it's like, yeah, but if she screenshotted it recently and just gone back through her messages, it would have the check mark.
Would have been there.
And that's not like if that was a recent thing and she's gone through it recently, that's not his profile picture at the moment. And it is easy to create and edit stuff.
Yeah, of course it is.
I was I'll send you the photos.
look at the Photoshop Steve or what his name is. He does as soon as Brendan or Brian sends a photo or posts a picture, he changes it like instant.
Yeah.
So
and like
it's
I said,
done.
I'm not defending Chris. I'm just trying to look at it with a bit of reason and not having him be guilty until proven innocent in my head, because
Yeah.
I love his stand-up, I love his podcast, I love his appearances on other people's podcasts, and maybe the guy is an asshole in real life and when he's not doing shows, but he doesn't come
But
across that.
he
And
might
when you
be. But if
when
you
you hear,
listen to how all the other people in his circles talk about him,
yeah,
he's the nicest, most genuine person in the world. Why does that happen?
yeah, I mean, I
It's,
was stupid the other day, and I really wish I hadn't done this. But I was going through, like, he posted a day or so before that, somebody had filmed their kid with his new stand-up special on, and the kid's chuckling away in his baby bouncer, and his thing was, oh, OMG, I fucking love this kid, and the comments on there, like,
yeah.
and also, here's another one for you. There's a few female comics, like not even checkmarked comics, that have been on things like the Death Squad. Sarah
Yeah.
Wineshank, I think her name is Wineshank.
Yeah.
She put out so awkward or something like that, like as a direct jibe at Chris, and you read the comments underneath it from people who have got blue check marks who check me like, I've never heard of you. Why are you slating somebody in your community before you, unless they know something that we don't?
Yeah.
But I just think on something like this, surely, I mean, if it all turns out to be untrue, he's gonna be said that he paid them off,
Yeah.
or B, it's going to take a while to recover from it.
Yeah.
But if it does turn out to be untrue, then I'm sure he'll be fine, and it'll get better with time. But it's like
A bit like
if
Louis
it's,
C.K. That sort of got swept under.
well,
He seems to give a shit anymore.
the thing about Louis is that he was a bit of a creep, but
He just like we're having a wank.
But he didn't actually do anything wrong because he asked them if he could do it. And if they were like, yeah, he didn't just do it, as far as I know. He may have exposed himself a couple of times, but
he didn't just bust it out and just start having a Tommy
tank.
tank.
No worse than Ari. Ari does it on stage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think something like this. It's like, if this is the case, and I mean, maybe because of all of what's going on, they don't feel like they can. But why wasn't this done legally? Why was it just put out on Twitter? Because, and also with Twitter, why is that okay to potentially slander somebody when you can't, if you put certain hate speech out, you get taken and kicked off Twitter.
Yeah.
Now,
but like, if you call fucking,
if it's true, then surely this would all come out through legality.
Yeah.
Just chucking that out there is because, like, he said send pics, for example, in an email at AOL.com. Like, who even uses AOL anymore? But
is that even a thing still?
yeah. But so he said that she sent a panda. Nothing else in there. In what I saw, like, coming onto her. And also, you have to, like, it's so hard via text, but you have to remember Chris's personality. Now, I need to just be careful what I'm saying, because, like, if it turns out he's done it, like I said, throw the book at him. I'm not. I am not condoned anybody grooming anybody online or anything like that. And it does seem to be quite rife in celebrity culture. But having said that, remember what type of a comedian Chris D'Elia is, and he constantly puts out stuff. Like he put on, even on his podcast, he said that 16-year-old girls aren't 16-year-old girls; they're 24. Now you can take that snippet and make out like, see, he was putting it out there in public. Or if you watch the rest of his shows, that's like he makes analysis of things like that all the time.
Yeah.
Not just about women. Like something that he dislikes, he'll say, "Go on, put a vest on with a load of pockets and go take a hike."
Yeah.
Okay, like that's how. And so the way his thinking works is what he's saying is it's hard to distinguish between a 24-year-old girl
4-year-old
and a
and a
16-year-old
16-year-old.
girl. He's
Yes.
not saying anything other than that. That's all he's saying.
Yeah. He's saying if you
And
check out a chick's profile at the minute, all these fitness chicks and that, they have their ass
exactly,
out. You don't know if they're fucking 24 or 16.
exactly. So anyway, so the next thing, I can't work out which way it's going, but I'm assuming she messaged him saying, "Let's hang out," and he put, "Can we make out, or are we going to make out?" Now, written down,
Yeah.
that you could see that, but you could also think that Chris has noticed that this is a 15-year-old girl, and he's replying in a joke way. Like she's saying, "Can we hang out?" He's like, "Oh yeah, what are we going to do? Make out?"
Yeah.
Like, it's difficult. Like she may feel that that's what he was doing, but he may feel like he was just like, "Oh yeah."
What are we
And
going to do, make out? Nah,
yeah,
I'm good, cheers.
um, maybe, but do you know what I mean? Like it's a difficult one, and I wish, in some respects, these things didn't come to light via
Yeah.
Twitter, and it was like if
You
we
could,
if we if we had a headline that morning and it said Chris D'Elia arrested on suspicion of,
yeah.
okay, and then a few weeks later it's then released out onto Twitter, you
Yeah.
can sort of like the legal teams, and in from her point as well, because if he is doing it or has been doing it and he has done it to numerous people, then it stops her getting a backlash online, and it's also dealt with correctly without the possibility of his legal team saying, "Let's shut your mouth, here's a mill."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that possibility is ruled out if it goes through court.
And if it was as bad as they're making out, then I know some of them feel that they can't go to the police, especially like now.
Yeah.
But go to the police and say, "Here's some proof that Chris D'Elia is doing this or that," and then then it will be like you said on Twitter, on the news. Chris D'Elia is being arrested for potentially grooming a 15-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not, is it? It's I know what I'll do. I'm going to make myself slightly famous.
Yeah, maybe the
by
person thought that she couldn't go to the police for the exact opposite reason of what we just said. Maybe she didn't trust the police to do it.
maybe.
Maybe it was just a bold statement.
Yeah.
Uh,
And looking how things have gone completely like over the top of this one, obviously with Epstein, it took them ages to get all those girls to come out and say, "Look, he's got a fucking island where we used to go and massage him." He was obsessed. Yeah, he was obsessed with massages, by the way. He loved a massage.
I mean, we could go down a rabbit hole here.
We could.
I
There's
don't
so many rabbit
I
holes
really
at the minute.
I really don't know how. Like, I genuinely now, I don't know how I feel, because I can see it from both sides.
Fuck
I
me.
really can, and I just hope, like in a few days, something's cleared up. Like it's either
Yeah. We need some clarity on it, because otherwise it's the rumor mill at the minute.
yeah, no, I don't like it. Chris is, I think, my favourite comedian. more so his podcast than his stand-up, if I'm honest, because I feel like you get more of a look into.
You get more of Chris.
But again, even saying that, like, you think, like, I don't want to be seen to be defending. Like, it's hard because I don't know the evidence. If I knew some evidence, I'd be hard, like, and he was innocent, I'd be like, you guys need to fuck off, because that's not a nice thing to do to somebody that hasn't done anything wrong. But at the same time, I don't know that. And I've got a young daughter, and I absolutely would be going ballistic if.
100%, mate.
So, yeah, I don't know, like, yeah, you go into these rabbit holes, like, you got fucking Prince Andrew. Is it Prince Andrew? There's so many princes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being linked to Epstein. He's getting
he's
fucking...
he's pretty much been removed from the royal family.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure he has, but you only got to look at his dad, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? Creepy old fuck. But he is, isn't he?
Hey, you leave Philip alone.
I won't. Actually, I won't, because no, I do think to a certain degree, and I'm sort of backtracking on what I was just saying about Chris, because, like, yeah, it is all speculation, but all their royals, brush it under the table. Don't fucking brush it under the table. You're still a person. You're not special.
Yeah.
If you've done something wrong,
he did something wrong. He did something wrong and then tried to defend himself and majorly fucked up. Whoever gave him the gen to go onto that TV show and say what he did.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, police.
I'm not defending him anyway. Police. Tell you what, I was listening to Joe and Jocko.
Yeah.
And Jocko, spot on. With all these people saying defund the police.
Give them more funding and training. Probably.
More time, more training. Because it is true. If you think about it, I can talk from experience here. So when we went to Iraq, we did public order training. And we literally spent like a week learning just how to deal with a riot if it happens. We literally went out and did it. We'd have one flight would be the rioters, and we were allowed to smash fuck out of it.
I remember photos.
I got some photos of it. Yeah. We're allowed to smash fuck. We had fucking rubber batons and we were throwing them at them. I broke someone's nose because I'm angry. But yeah, and that was all part of our pre-deployment training before we went to Iraq. And the same when we went to Kandahar and Bastion. We would spend 6 months, if not longer, to getting ready to pre-deploy than we actually did on deployment. Because obviously you train harder so that when you actually get out there, it's easier. And like Jocko said, these coppers are getting like an hour every few months or so. It's not enough.
No.
And they don't get the time out, the time off to have it R&R. They're literally on.
Yeah.
And especially over in America.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have any dealings with the police when I was in the States, but I do know that we were sort of briefed up when we first got there, like, especially the guys that were driving the cars and stuff. It was like, always have your license, registration ready. Don't make any sudden movements. Keep your hands visible at all times, because that's what they're watching. They're not watching your face. They're watching your hands.
Yeah.
And comply. And it's like, that's now where they're struggling, because people don't give a fuck, and they are.
Yeah. That's like, the sort of.
They're not willing to comply.
Yeah, and it's like, when did that start to happen? Like, if I got pulled over by the police or whatever, I'm like, oh fuck.
Well, I'll tell you when it started.
I'm in the shit.
When people lost respect.
And now people are, and yeah, the lack of respect is just gone out the window.
But the reason that respect is gone is for a good reason.
Yeah. And
when you see the footage and it's like, oh, that's only one police officer, you see how many crimes. Yeah, but that's not what they're supposed to do. That's why
No.
people have started not respecting. And you got to think, in a mob mentality, you look behind you,
Yeah.
there's 100 people and there's only 10 police officers. Well, I fancy my chances here.
Yeah.
And then when you don't comply, and their response is to tear gas and rubber bullet and bat on people, well, that's exactly what is causing, and then there's video footage of that. Do you know what I mean? It's an ongoing cycle, and like you said, that one of the best ways to get around this, potentially, I'm not an expert, would be feet on the ground and speak to people. You're less likely, if you know what you're doing. It wasn't Jocko. I think it was Andy Stump was talking to a police officer who used to be in the SEALs with him. I haven't finished listening to the episode, I think I only started to listen to this just before I started work, so I'd have to re-listen to it. But it was more, I think it was either him or it was Jocko on Rogan, and they said that basically when you would go on deployment to Iraq and to Afghanistan, and you were doing, what was it, the Hearts and Minds stuff, you would go and spend time.
So counter-insurgency, that was Jocko.
It was Jocko. So you go and spend time with the family.
We used to do the same. So
you go and spend what I'm trying to say, what is basically is getting that trust back, and also and the police departments, why are they not? And I don't believe for a second that this, like in America, more than over here, but also it would work over here as well. Why the hell are you sending predominantly white people into neighborhoods that don't trust white people? Why, if you're going into a predominantly black neighborhood in a dangerous ghetto at the moment, a dangerous ghetto with gang members, etc., why are you not sending people that look like them that they trust, so that you can build up a relationship? One of the safest places apparently at the moment is Compton. Because the police officers have a relationship with the gang members. So they will go. So they will go into. They went. It's been going on since the 90s in there, and they worked out that, hang on, if we keep going in here and battering these people, they're just going to start shooting,
digging their feet in. So they make it worse.
They changed I think it was all after the Tupac Biggie shootings. They changed how they were policing the area, and there's still gangs, and there's still illegal activity, but there's not as much violence on the streets. And that's what. Why are we not doing similar things in areas of London, in areas of Birmingham, in areas of Liverpool? Do you know what I mean? If the police didn't seem like the enemy, in my head that makes sense. But
it does. I can talk from experience for this, right? In CAF, when we were there, we managed to limit the number of rocket attacks that we were getting because we went out and did counterinsurgency. We would go into the villages, we'd speak to the locals, we'll go and speak to the local mullah, take him some radios, take him some blankets, all that sort of stuff, all the hearts and minds, give the kids some pens and shit, sweets, chocolates, anything like that, because they will then tell us if there's somebody in there that shouldn't be in there. Or they'll tell us if there's something suspect, like they're going to be setting up rockets at this time, and then we'd go and stop it. The reason why I'm bringing up Kandahar is because we pretty much, obviously we had a few, because Kandahar is pretty much flat, apart from 3 Mile Mountain, so it is a decent area for them to set off these rockets and then just get the fuck out of there. But like I said, we managed to build up a brilliant rapport with all the locals, unless we were idiots and drove through their fucking field. If we drove through their field, that was it then. That night, we'll probably get rocket attacked. As soon as we left and handed over to the Yanks, they had, I think it was around 64 rockets in one night to hit Kandahar Air Base. Because they just go in and just drive through, For example, here's another one. We did a night patrol. We broke into one of the barns so that we could lie up and get the snipers on the roof, have a look around, get the JTAC in there so we can get air support in. Because we went and knocked on his house and went, right, here's fucking $50 or whatever. Sorry for breaking your lock. It's like little things like that. And the locals respected you. And the best people to... not in a pedo way, obviously, because they would literally tell you if there was something there. They didn't really give a shit. Give them a fucking bottle of water. They love you.
Listen, hold that thought. I just need a quick toilet.
All right, mate.
I'm just going to grab another coffee because I'm out. I don't know if you want to waffle on about.
Yeah, I'll
something.
I'll speak about.
I'll be back in a sec.
Companies or something.
All right.
Oh, mate. Cool. See you in a sec. While Little Brown is off grabbing himself a fantastic, probably a coffee, should be Dead Mammoth coffee. So I'm going to give a quick couple of shout outs to some veteran companies. That's what I like to do. I like to give out shout out to veteran companies because I like the support within, because we all support each other and we all help each other. So I want to start off with Dead Mammoth Coffee. Now, Dead Mammoth Coffee is a veteran-owned company, like I said. But not only that, it's roast to order. So however you like your beans roasted, they will do that for you. Not only that, have it ground specifically to your taste, whether you like the full bean, ground down a little bit extra, so on and so forth. How dark you want it, all that. It is the best coffee I've ever tasted. And I'm a bit of a coffee snob. So, yeah, I'm all for Dead Mammoth. I think it's brilliant. It's lovely. They help support the show. He's been on the show himself. So shout out to Dead Mammoth Coffee. Also, put in the promo codes MIL15 at checkout and you get 15% off because I'm nice like that. And it's Father's Day coming up. Get amongst it. Right. Those of you that follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc., know that I am part of the world famous now Thick Boy Bike Club because I get out on the road on my bicycle and I put the miles on the legs. Last night, I went and did a 27-kilometer bike ride, and I put it on the legs. That's what I did. But you're saying to me, did you refuel afterwards? Fucking right I did. And what did I use? Combat Fuel. So what I did, I put in my strawberries and cream protein powder and I got myself a decent protein shake to help refuel myself. They also do loads of other things. That is Combat Fuel, ladies and gentlemen. And again, it's a veteran-owned, veteran-run company. They also give proceeds and profits to charity. Help for Heroes, I believe. Fantastic. You're saying, hey, Tommo, mate, I want our discount. How's 15% sound? Put in the promo code Warrior15 at checkout. 15% off. You are welcome. Now, you want some decent kit and equipment to go with, yeah? Go and see my boys at Right Flank. Now, Right Flank, they also have a support group at the minute. And they're for veteran companies, veteran personnel to come and gather up information, all that sort of stuff. And you could talk about if you have any problems, queries, anything like that. You're struggling, go and see the Right Flank support. But also go and see Right Flank, the main HQ, the main hub. Get yourself some decent sports apparel. They've got some brilliant women's wear, which I don't wear because, man. Yeah, and they're just fucking brilliant. I can't knock them. I can't. They've been on the show. Steve has been on the show. He's also done 2 amazing fucking things on YouTube. He's also got his own YouTube channel now. So go and check out Steve and Right Flank. If you're purchasing some sports apparel, put in the promo code FLANKED15 at checkout for 50% off. Very much welcome. Yo. Last but not least, I use it. I happen to use the muscle rub at the minute. That is Infusion CBD. Now, CBD oil is scientifically proven to help with anxiety, depression, PTSD, sleep disorders, eating disorders. The list on and on with any sort of mental health problems. But it's not only that, it also helps you with your physical makeup as well. I use it on my knees, my hips, my ankles, from where I put all this fucking pressure throughout all my military career. Yeah, it was only 5.5 years, but I put in some miles on these fucking tiny legs of mine with lots of weight. So putting in the muscle rub onto all these joints and muscle soreness, it fucking has helped me no end. Like, my knees are better, and so are my ankles. Yeah, I still wake up in the morning and I'm limping like an old man. I'm 33 years old, but I walk like I'm fucking 65. It's madness. But yeah, Infusion CBD, and put in the promo code GRANITE15 at checkout and get 15% off. You're welcome. So we're just waiting on Little Brown to come back. While we're doing that, I'm going to quickly read you something out. So I got given this, and it helps with what is going on in the veteran community and how much we support each other. So stand by while I read this out. So this is from a Paul Grant, who is a subscriber and a listener of the show. So a couple of weeks ago, one of the residents passed away. He was 86 years old and served 22 years in the Air Force as part of ground crew. Unfortunately, a member of staff had thrown out all his military memorabilia, including pics, medals, documents. The family were absolutely distraught by this. However, the care home handyman, Steve, had served with the current Secretary of State for the Defense when he was with the Scots Guards. Steve managed to email Ben Wallace and managed to arrange with the Air Chief Marshal to get copies of all the documents, photographs, medals, and anything else that they had on file for this gentleman that passed it on to his. They passed it on to his family. So it just shows how big the veteran community is and how much we help and support each other. Now, for me, the veteran community is a big thing, obviously. The reason why it's such a big thing for me is, we have our banter and what have you with other regiments, but it just shows that all aside, if you need help in that, then they will come in and they'll fucking support you. There he is. He is back. D Tizzo for Shizzo.
Yes, what else?
What else has been up? Well, we are in the world's most strangest movie at the minute.
It is very...
Still. It's like it doesn't seem like there's going to be an end. It's a fucking never-ending story with the big flying cow dog thing.
Yeah.
The never-ending story. It was good, wasn't it?
This is going to sound poetic now, and I was going to save this for my podcast, but
I love it.
Last night after work, I was sat down, and obviously they're still continuing to relax things, but people in general don't seem to understand what relax means. And it was pissing down with rain last night, and I was sat there and I spoke to Mikey that I work with, and I said, it's ironic, isn't it? I said, it's like the earth knows. It's like it's crying because humanity learnt nothing over all of this. And I don't think, as pandemics go, this was a particularly. I mean, they didn't know, but as it turns out, it's probably not as bad as they initially thought it was going to be. But still, it was a time the world over to change the way humans are.
Yeah.
And the moment
But they didn't really.
Moment they get a little bit of slack, just I don't know. Like obviously you can't social distance for the rest of the time on the earth, but for the moment, just to keep the strain off the emergency services, etc. Just why has nobody learned? Like I still get annoyed in the shops. Like if I pop into Tesco just round the corner from me, and you see like you just hear someone go, "Oh, do you mind if I just squeeze past?" And I still am a social distancing wanker. I'm like, "Yeah, I do actually. I'll be moving on in a minute. Like, what do you need to get past me so quickly for? You've done fine for the last however many months it's been.
It's
like, why now are you in a rush?"
Been shit, mate. It's crazy. Fucking
and of course,
really is.
New research coming out, and you're probably fine. Like wearing a face mask out in public probably isn't going to help, but it's not going to harm at the same time. But also, I look at it from the other side of things, and like the small businesses that have been affected, the gyms, the pubs, the restaurants, all non-essential. And it's like, I don't know if I've discussed this with you or not, but it's like the mental health aspect of that. It's like telling somebody that you are not essential. People identify. I discussed this with Chris Dunn. It's the mental health ramification of that. Is that the right word? I think so. That's my new thing, is using words in the complete wrong place, trying to sound clever.
I did that the other day.
But do you know what I mean? Telling somebody that has spent their, like, for example, from a gym, people that do actually help people and do a job that potentially makes it a bit safer to have the disease. Virus.
Because helps build up the immune system, doesn't it? Being fit.
Yeah, but telling people they've got to stay indoors when research is pointing towards vitamin D being one of the saving graces, and being depleted and tired is one of the worst things that you can be. But I don't know. It's very easy to sit in your chair and comment, you know. But for me personally, it didn't have a massive impact on me having to stay at home and only do things.
You thrived, if anything. Your fucking vegetable garden you got.
Oh yeah, that's going really well.
You got your own business there, mate. Selling tomatoes.
Well,
Tommo's tomatoes.
They're starting to fruit now as well, which is good.
You won't be able to eat all there, mate. You'll be shitting yourself.
I actually don't do very well with tomatoes because potassium makes my mouth itch.
Same here.
But I do love them, so I'll take a bit of itching.
Pineapples make my mouth itch as well.
And bananas. I think what else? Oh, footy's back.
Yeah. Well, right. I'm going to throw this one out here. It might be controversial now. Did they need... Well, I could see why they've done it, to show solidarity with everything, but did they need to put Black Lives Matter on the back of the shirts?
I think they were just...
a patch. And then a small NHS one.
Well, I think...
I can semi see why they've done it. Sure.
This might help you see a little bit more. So basically,
Fucking Joe's attacking me again.
ath- athletes,
Joe.
especially footballers, the Premier League. I don't know if La Liga and Serie A have done the same, but they're high profile, lot of exposure. The NHS, there's nobody there going, fuck the NHS, right? But there is the need, and it's funny because I don't know what it's like in your village, but we do lead a relatively sheltered, not sheltered because that's the wrong word. We're not as exposed to what the people that are affected by, and the people who are protesting for, the genuine Black Lives Matter protesters. We're not exposed to that as much. No. And there's been a lot of negativity about it. There's been people jumping on bandwagons and saying all lives matter, which of course that's not the issue.
Yeah.
What the issue is they're trying to bring Black Lives Matter is bringing to the forefront what black people the world over, it's not just America, it's not just Britain, have had to go through and still continue to go through. And I'm saying that as a white person that's never really had to endure much hardship, really, in the grand scheme of things, not on the level that some, and it's not just underprivileged. There's, I've seen plenty of well-off black people complaining on how they're treated just because of the colour of their skin. Do you know what I mean? And pulled, like in America, pulled over, treated as if they've done something wrong. I've seen countless videos and stuff, and I think what they were doing is trying to give just a bit more exposure in a positive way from people who aren't smashing stuff up.
It all got
who aren't going after statues, which I think you covered in your last episode. It was just a group of athletes of all different races, different countries, from different they'd be from different social backgrounds as well, just showing a bit of solidarity. Look, here you go, we're supporting this movement.
To be fair, I fully get the taking the knee. I was just a bit the names on the shirt, but then
it's because you didn't know who was who. and nor did nor did the commentators, because they didn't know which player got laid the fuck out by Edison. You the goalkeeper? I think it's Edison.
I missed the game, to be fair,
I
got rid of Sky. But
he came
on
out
that note, right?
He came out like a lunatic and just completely. I think he did the open palm smash to underneath his jaw as he came out to clear the ball. And I saw on Twitter, and I quote, he should have been sent off for that. It's his own player. His own player. Unless you actually get into a fist fight with your own player. If your own player gets in your way, or you just clatter your own player, that's not, you can't get sent off for that.
Right. So this has been posted by Ian Wright, the legend.
Is that his inbox?
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah. Right. I'm just going to say this now. I am quoting this from his inbox. This is not just me saying it.
I would implore you to not read it as written.
Okay.
So, for example, the C word he uses rhymes with spoon.
Yes, and I'll say spoon.
The N word that he uses is
Yep.
not the
Ninja.
gangster, the ninja word, but with an ER.
Yeah. Right. So it starts off with, mate, Arsenal are shit. By the way, you're a spoon. Ninja. Go back to Africa. Cotton picking spoon. 2 monkey emojis. Monkey belong in the tree. Good English, by the way, mate. Followed by another monkey face. Followed by up the ra with 2 Irish flags. Followed by a good few monkey faces. Then a spoon again. Cotton laughing faces. Ninja. Hey, monkey. Come on, mate. And let's see if I can sort this out. I'll show you what he looks like, because why not? Can we see him?
Well,
That's him.
He's got like the filter on, and he's got some sort of terrible hairdo on the left.
Yeah. Sean. And he's got this is how confused he is. So he's got Sean, right? That's his name. He's got is it Palms the Bible quote 27:12, and then he's got a British flag next to the Irish flag, which I'm pretty sure most people.
What was that, Sam?
Huh?
What was that, Sam?
Psalm was 27:12. But
do not hand me over to the will of my foes, for faultless witnesses rise up.
Fair play.
Okay.
It's all just fucking.
I don't get that.
What was he hoping to achieve?
I don't
understand.
Don't get it. You go back to Africa. It's like when people say to Polish people, like, go back to Poland. It's like, why? We live in countries with imaginary lines drawn out by other humans to say this is look,
this is where you live.
I don't get it.
Strange, mate.
So another one, Seattle got taken over by militants, like a whole.
Yeah.
Do you know what Trump tweeted?
Go for it. I haven't seen.
I haven't. I can get my phone out in a sec and read it, but I can't quote it directly. But it's something along the lines of, and bear in mind that Seattle's been taken by militants, so they've overthrown the authorities in that area, or they've just been given it. I think the governor was just like, have it. Trump put Seattle were ahead of the curve. They built a wall. I'm gonna have to find the exact quote. I'll find it.
Oh.
And he's had to have something taken down from his fucking campaign.
They built a wall.
He's had to have something taken down because he had like a Nazi symbol on his campaign. I'll find that as well. But I mean, Donald Trump, where are you?
Fucking spinny chair keeps spinning around, mate.
He tweets a lot, so this might take me a second. He's just saying about how much he's sending different states money.
Rock for.
There you go. First thing anarchists did upon taking over Seattle, like, okay, so you're the president and they've taken one of your states. I mean, I think it's just a plot, but First thing
Seattle's
the anarchists did upon taking over Seattle was build a wall. See, I was ahead of our times.
Germany, if anything, because they built a wall once.
I just
he's off his tits.
yeah, but I
That's
don't
what
see.
happens when you have a. Some of the things he's done have been really good, and then other things is just shit.
I mean, I don't know how much he has done good. I don't know. I don't follow it that much. But like Boris is no better. He's a bumbling idiot. And yeah, he's.
Boris the bullet dodger.
But the funny thing is, here's one for you. Like I don't really have a political party I follow. I literally vote independent, or I just sod it, vote Green, because they're not doing anything bad, are they, the Green Party? But and also, yeah, you could say it's a wasted vote, but I don't like the fact that it's like red team or blue team. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I've got a solution for this as well. Right, so Facebook says it's removed adverts for the US President Donald Trump's re-election campaign that featured a symbol used in Nazi Germany.
Of course it was.
Dangerous mobs of far-left groups are running through our streets, causing absolute mayhem. They are destroying our cities and rioting. This is absolute madness. It's important that every American comes together in a time like this to send a united message that you will not stand for their radical actions any longer. We're calling on you to make public statement and add your name to stand with President Trump against Antifa. Please add your name immediately to stand with. And there's like, see more. There's the symbol they're using.
Upside down triangle.
That's. I'm pretty sure that's. Let me just do a quick Google. Usually I'd have like this all prepared, but.
Yes, right.
Nazi. Red.
Once we've done that, we'll have to discuss something more current event, another current event.
Nazis put this symbol. Nazis put the symbol on political opponents' arms. Now Trump is using it. Oh, when they got them in concentration camps, they'd stick that on their arm to show that they were politically against the Nazi Party, which is essentially what Trump said. What were you going to say?
You're not.
Fuck Trump. Fuck politics.
Yeah. So in happy news, fucking mighty Marcus Rashford, mate.
Yeah, he's done a good job, hasn't he?
He's done a fucking brilliant job. He's done so much during this lockdown. Obviously, he's overturned that government ruling for helping to fund the kids that can't afford meals. But he's also done things like he learned, and it's not a huge thing, but he learned sign language so he could speak to a load of his fans. He set up another little charity fund that he put like God knows how much of his own money into. It's just like, it just proves that there are players out there that want to make the place better.
Yeah, I did see some criticism. That's normal. Like, oh, fucking footballers, why don't you put your own money in and stuff? It's like, I wish people would just understand that footballers live the same as the rest of us. They can't just go and whack at, they get paid hundreds of thousands of pounds a week, but their outgoings will reflect that, I would have thought. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to buy a house that costs £1 million because I couldn't afford the mortgage payment on it.
Yeah, and a lot of people moan about it, but it's like we effectively pay their wages by buying football shirts, tickets, merchandise, tickets. Well, not tickets in a minute. City are at an advantage, aren't they?
Yeah.
Frozen for the first time.
tell you something I'm doing at the moment.
But it just shows that there are players out there that do a lot.
Yeah, I mean, well done, Marcus. Is all I can really say on that. But great.
Yeah. Sports
I mean,
personality of the year. Give it to him.
If he'd done that while he was representing England, for example, there would probably be less negative comments. What I would
maybe.
say. You know, if we were in a semi-final and that came out, the nation would embrace Marcus, which I think on the most part they did. I just saw some criticism, but you always see people moaning. Yes. So I've started watching old basketball games.
It's good, isn't it?
Old ones. I don't like the game at the moment. There's no physicality. Not physicality.
The physicality sort of gone out of the game a little bit. It's not like back when we originally started watching it with the likes of Rodman and Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing, Shaq.
But I did watch back a more recent game, and it's almost like the defensive side of the game's completely gone, because I'm guessing people want to see dunks and they want to see 3-pointers, etc., and I don't know, just as I wouldn't even say purist, but I like that scrappy side of the game. I like seeing people get worked up.
Yeah.
And
that's how I used to play. I think a lot of it sort of got turned on its head when the Golden State Warriors started becoming a bit more prominent, because their team was basically full of shooters.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't really have those players that would attack at the rim and things like that. They were just literally, they would give it to Steph Curry, who'd shoot a 3-pointer. It was like, I've seen this online as well. It's like watching a WNBA game.
Right. No, I think
shooting instead of dunking on.
Yeah, I don't know. It's almost like, from what I saw anyway, it's almost like watching almost an exhibition game, and you lose because you miss, not because the other team fights back and gets the ball.
Yeah, there's
like you haven't got someone
missing that little bit of fight.
What's that?
The Lakers
Gary
this
Payton?
season, before it, Gary Payton, what player? The glove.
Like someone like him would be like obsolete now, because it's almost like the game's set up just like, go on then. If you miss though, there's a good chance that we're going to score more.
Yeah, it's also a bit like my hero Allen Iverson. Yes, he was a scorer, but he was scrappy. He would get battered during a game.
Mm-hmm.
Stephon Marbury's another one. But yeah, like I was saying, there's a team at the minute this season that is very scrappy and very dominant and things like that, and that's the Lakers. They've gone back to pretty much how they were. They've got their superstar that has now replaced Kobe. They've got a really decent center in Davis with his stupid eyebrows. They've also got another guy that comes off the bench, Dwight Howard, who's another fucking monster. And they were literally dominating the league until fucking COVID stopped it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I very much enjoy going back through the old games that we used to watch.
Mm-hmm. I'm still in the sort of late 90s at the moment. I haven't ventured into the 2000s yet, but I will.
Yeah, 2000s are good. You get the likes of San Antonio Spurs and the Lakers that were battling all the time.
Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett.
Kevin Garnett's an animal as well.
Tim Ball.
He's playing and he's going on 21.
Yeah.
Remember that VHS?
Yeah, I can't.
NBA 2000.
Is that what it's called? Because I was going to look for it.
2000. Yeah.
On.
I think it's up in Mum's loft.
Probably.
We've also got
I was trying to.
the Chicago Bulls 96 season somewhere on video as well. The
Yeah,
72-10.
yeah. I was trying to think where like my Rodman Bull shirt was, my reversible one. I don't think I've seen it at Mum's. It might have got chucked.
Yeah, she probably chucked along with all my Sixers jerseys.
Or they could just be up in a
Probably.
bag.
Yeah, it might be. That was a reversible one. I like that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good times, mate. Bad as I Wanna Be. What a brilliant book.
Yeah. Great book. He was a nutter. But he
He's
didn't
not.
start.
He buried himself.
Yeah, he had to market himself, didn't he?
Yeah. He didn't start off as a nutter, though.
No, he sort of created that when he was at the Pistons.
Yeah. That was another team that went fucking bonkers.
Hmm?
That was another team that didn't take no shit. That 90s Detroit Pistons. Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, who came after him that was like the dude at Pistons? Grant? Hill.
Yeah. Grant Hill, number 33.
Good player.
Yeah, he's wasted in that Pistons team because he was literally they would try to he was supposed to be their franchise player that they were going to build around, and they just never did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
I was
even think teams to the NBA anymore.
Mate, I got confused. The other way I was talking to Chris Smith, who is still wanking off over basketball because he loves it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who I was talking about. I think it might have been the Pelicans or something like that, who obviously weren't around. And I was like, oh, what about Vancouver Grizzlies? He was like, well, they've gone now. It's New Orleans Pelicans. I was like, how have they gone from Vancouver to New Orleans? Well, the Charlotte Bobcats are now back to being the Charlotte Hornets again. Owned by Michael Jordan.
He wanted Charlotte Hornets before he bought the Wizards, but they were messing around with how much he would have to do.
Yeah. Good times, mate.
There's a good follow up to The Last Dance actually on YouTube. It's when he went to the Wizards. It's not a professionally done thing; it's just an amateur one. But it was quite interesting. I think I don't want to sound like an old man here, but like with the Premier League at the moment, like the guys at work were saying, "Oh, have you tinkered with your team and stuff?" And I don't know if it's just because if it was stop start or if like I genuinely felt like it was a bit of a shit season in general. Like although Liverpool did really well, a lot of teams really underachieved.
Yeah, I agree.
And like, of course, that's not taken away from Liverpool because, like,
no, they've been.
To be honest, I was thinking about it the other day, and you know when like commentators get really excited when, like you can picture it now because City have just got to lose 2 games or something, or Liverpool have got to win a couple of games.
Liverpool got to win, and yeah.
Anyway, it's basically theirs unless something fucking terrible happens. But I was just picturing like the scenes. Unfortunately, won't be full of crowds, but it'd be like Liverpool winning the league after so many years and blah blah blah. What it means to the city of Liverpool, and I was thinking about that, and you know the guys were, and I'd like to be a bit more like that. I mean, it's different when I'm watching Arsenal play. Like I got so wound up the other night watching that streak of piss that they consider to be a professional centre back in David Luiz, and his interview afterwards just fucking riled me. But which I'll quickly just touch on. He came out saying, "Oh, I should have done more with my time over the 100 days that we had off, and I should have sorted my contract out." Or what I'm going to be doing because I've got, I think I think he was saying he's got 14 days left or something of his contract, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Yeah, so today's my fault, not the other players. It's my fault." It's like, did you do that on purpose, you twat? Because nobody was listening to you on your contract negotiations. Because if you did that on purpose, you're a twat. But anyway, going back to the whole Liverpool winning it thing, and my sort of distaste for the Premier League this season is I don't like the seasons where it's like there's not really a rivalry, and it's sort of intertwines with the NBA.
Fight
it's
at
like
the end.
It's because I don't know. Annoyingly now, like when Sir Alex had Man United, when Wenger had Arsenal, it's sort of stopped there for me with the Premier League, because like it was good when you had like the Chelsea Man Uniteds, and you know there was good football being played and stuff like that, but it's almost like whoever's owner has got the most money, or whoever's not on a financial fair play ban, they win the league. And people can say Liverpool haven't done it that way, and maybe they haven't, but they've still spent a fair whack on, and like it's not taken away from Klopp, but I prefer it if now that you've got like Liverpool playing well, why have we not got Arsenal playing well, Man City playing well, Man United playing well, Chelsea playing well, with the likes of Leicester sticking their nose in and having a fucking proper battle? Why are Man United so shit at the moment? Why are Arsenal so shit at the moment? Chelsea are really unpredictable, and City can either be fucking magnificent or god awful.
Yeah.
And then why can't those and I understand it goes like this a little bit, but why can't they be better? And then have the likes of Wolves, Leicester, Sheffield United, like sticking their nose in and having the potential, oh, hang on, Chelsea might not make it this year because Sheffield United play. Why are those teams so shit at the moment? I don't understand. And you can't say it's the coaches.
No.
You can't. Frank Lampard's a great coach. Arteta's a great coach. Pep's a great coach. Klopp I think, is top of the bunch at the moment. But I wouldn't even say that Liverpool have got the best squad out of all of those teams on paper. No. He's just got them playing well, so maybe he is the coach. Maybe I'm talking shit, but
maybe.
I don't know. I think maybe Solskjaer missed out in the summer in really squaring your team away. He should just fuck Pogba off. Fuck him off, if anyone will have him.
Yeah, we'll see how, because we're playing Spurs tonight.
Mm-hmm. They've got a full strength squad again now, apart from Delhi.
We've got our full squad back. So Rashford's fit, Martial's fit, Bruno's fit, Pogba's fit. So how is he gonna get them all playing? Because Pogba's not a bad player. He's just
a fucking great player. He's a twat.
Yeah,
and
his ego is a bit too big.
Not in the Michael Jordan being a twat and trying to carry his team forward, in the sense that he's a dickhead, and he's no better than what Alexis Sanchez was doing at Arsenal before he went to you, poisoning the dressing room. But I just think like it might be an unpopular opinion, but I do think, and it's not because Arsenal aren't playing well, because before COVID we were actually the only unbeaten team in 2020. But I just find I don't enjoy it. Like I'm not on a Saturday.
20. Like a mad mate.
But on a Saturday, I wasn't going out of my way to watch whatever games were on the telly, because I don't know. And like the boys at work saying, you think I don't know a lot of the players because I don't care.
Yeah,
it sounds really stupid.
The love for it's gone a little bit.
So I'm
I think
sit making old man noises watching old basketball instead.
Do it.
And also,
the way forward.
Here's one that fucked me off.
Go for it.
People watching Euro 96 during lockdown.
Hey, we lost.
But not just that.
We lost though.
Watch that on YouTube anytime you want.
Yeah, it's on there.
Tell you what would have been a good idea. We should have done it. I think I saw this on Facebook somewhere. People were setting up their FIFA with no user, so sliding it into the middle,
Yeah,
letting the teams play against each other and betting on it.
yeah.
That's a good idea. That's better than watching Euro 96 because I know what happened. Saw it.
Saw it. Do you see that they started like broadcasting the fucking Premier League players playing against each other?
Yeah,
On
fuck
FIFA.
off.
I don't want to watch that.
No, fuck off. Fuck off, you.
It was funny.
That fucking winds me up. By the way, fuck off. People, no.
It's funny watching Aguero score with himself and celebrating. That was actually quite funny.
Yeah.
I could play with myself because my player's got 99 and everything. So
Yeah.
he's the best. Anyway, dude, I need a pee.
Yeah, I need to go get some food.
Sweet, mate. And it's lunchtime. Cool.
All right.
Oh, nice having you back on.
Yeah, I'll try. I've got sort of semi-normalized shift patterns at work now where I know what I'm doing. So Wednesdays and Saturdays, or any morning
Sweet.
time that you're off, I can
Happy
be
days.
around.
Cool, man. Right. See you in a bit.
Ciao.